And
Vito, I'm gonna step.
we're
Oh, he's talking.
what do you want me to do? You want me to stop it?
Sorry, Jason started talking.
No, it's
Didn't
fine. It's okay. He could talk.
I didn't
Guys,
realize.
what's going on? Look, you see his eyeball? It's not creepy at all.
I'm uh, I'm gonna step out here just so I don't do anything that like knocks anything over or disrupts. And
Oh no, this
so,
isn't disrupting at all, Jason. This is good. This
okay,
is good. This is we've started off. Oh, folks, uh, uh, the, uh, I'm the Amazing Vito, and I'm interviewing the one and only supermodel Dannie Debe. Okay, look at her, and it took an hour and a half because she wasn't happy with the lighting. I look like I'm ready for a box, and we've spent what how long? God, we it was 5 o'clock. It's 5:47, and I'm starving. I've gone to the bathroom twice in this chair. So
Sorry.
no, it's fine. It's fine. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. Well, let me give a quick little synopsis. Danny has appeared in several magazines all over the world. Okay. She's appeared on CD covers, several CD covers. She's also been a Sunshine Girl. For those that don't know, that's like in the the a lot of my viewers are from the states, and then
Okay.
guess what are the second from Mexico.
Okay.
So I get a lot of Mexican people, which is really weird. So that's,
That's
how
awesome.
do you say hello in Mexico? Hola.
Hola.
Or I don't know. Anyways, I know how to say how to anyways. All right. So she's also 15 times in the over she's gonna be over 15 times Sunshine Girl. And that
Yeah.
is when that's the only reason people buy that newspaper is to get the Sunshine Girl. And Danny has been on that so many times, graced it. Um, are you also on the? I used to buy the cards. The Sunshines they used to sell the cards.
Oh, I
Like
don't know about that.
no, like it was like playing cards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
No. I think I know they used to do a calendar, and I think that stopped recently.
Okay, all right. No, but she's also done calendars too, guys and girls. I know there's a lot of girls are going really Vito all the time, always with the women. But whatever. What do you want me to do? I'm alone. I'm cold. And I need a better light. This sucks. You look great. I look
Oh, I
awful.
hope so.
So, Danny's. Anyways, Danny, how long have you been um, modeling?
Uh, Probably about 14 years.
14 years.
13,
And
14.
like, how did that go about? Like, how did that come
Um,
about?
it's funny. My first photo shoot, I was 13, and that is because I followed a lot of celebrities when I was a little girl. Like Alyssa Milano and Christina Applegate, and I wanted to be like them, pretty model and all that stuff. So I did a photo shoot when I was 13, and then through my teens, it sort of wore off. I wasn't into it so much. And then I'm going to say around 2001 or 2002. Remember MySpace? Do you
Yeah,
remember
I still have a
before
MySpace.
Facebook?
Why? What's wrong with it? I got stock in MySpace. What?
So, so it started with that because I saw there's a lot of models on there, and I thought, you know what? I think I'd like to take photos and post them up and, just see what happens. Now, I didn't have a photographer. I didn't know what I was doing. So I would set a camera to the timer and just pose. And then I
Right.
had a friend cut out and edit my picture to make it look like it was professional. And I would post it up, and suddenly there was photographers messaging me and saying, "Hey, do you model? I'd love to take photos of you." And it just kind of progressed from there. I guess I had the look that they were looking for, and it just started with that. And
Yeah,
so,
that's you're lucky because
yeah,
there have been horror stories
yeah,
where it turns out to be a scam. I
right,
know my niece, she saw it in the paper that they're looking for a model, and I told her, you got to be very careful. I told her mom, I was
absolutely,
like, listen, if it's too good to be true, this guy's promising you this, that,
right.
and I'm like, well, what, she had to pay like $500.
And see, that's the problem right there. When they want money,
Yeah, I told her that. Right.
it's if they really want to work with you, they will not ask for money.
Right.
I mean, I tried going to agencies when I was younger, and it was the same thing, you know. And then I had signed with an agency. Actually, it was probably about 5 years ago. Um, and what happened was, um, I I couldn't make time to do anything that they wanted. You have to be available when they need you. So having a full-time job, it was not going to work at the same time as doing modeling. You know, if you're financially stable and you're able to have that time free to go to a job, a shoot, then, you know, that could become a full-time job. I mean, the agency had said to me, you know what, you have potential to be full-time doing this, but I need you to be available now to go to shoots and gigs and all that stuff, you know, 2 days in advance. And I was like, I can't just tell my work I can't, you know, come because I have a shoot. And unfortunately, I just couldn't do it. So, I mean, it started out as a hobby, and whatever happened, okay, that's awesome. But I kind of missed my mark there because I could have been full time with it, but I wasn't financially stable enough to quit my job and pursue it full
Well,
time.
yeah, that sucks
It does,
because
and it's
that,
really not. I mean, it's a very hard career to get into, and make it, you know, like your set career that um, financially pays you enough. You know what I mean? It's a very hard. It's like with acting as well. I mean, you you go for it and you hope for the best, but I mean, it it's difficult. Most people have a second job. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing with modeling. So
this is what I don't get. Why would like, I understand for acting, they usually call you at 11 o'clock at night before you go to bed,
right,
and they're like, you got an audition tomorrow morning, and
right,
okay, they send you the anyways, they send you the crap that you need to memorize for your audition. And then see, I thought for modeling that would be different because uh I mean, it's a photo shoot. You would think the photographer would have booked,
see, it
you know,
really depends. So if it's with an agency, agencies, they can cast you for a video, music video, or even a commercial, or you go in for a photo testing to see if they want you. So you have to be available. Um, and I mean, if you're working full time, you can't always take time off too, right? Like that's the problem.
that's a huge problem because people
Okay.
think, try, with your boss.
Right.
It's kind of like, okay, this is like the third time, and you're going, hey, come, like, never mind the third time. It's going to be about 150 times this
Yeah,
week.
exactly. Yeah,
So
I mean, I told the agency, you know what? I'm pretty much open on weekends. And they're like, that's not enough.
yeah,
So, and, you know, money is not stable with this kind of work. So it was like, well, unfortunately, this is how it's going to be. So I pretty much do it as a hobby for fun. When I'm published, awesome. If I make some money off it, awesome. You know, I'm just kind of going with it. You know, I'm always trying, but there's only so much I can do because I'm only available on weekends. And if I'm even busy doing something on the weekend and I can't do a shoot, it's just it doesn't work, right?
well, here,
So
let's show. I made a little vid. There you go. You see yourself?
oh yeah, that was my first I think that was my second shoot at the Sunshine Girl. Yeah. I love that.
Oh, me too. All right,
That-
now let's let her play her.
I love that. Jack
Look at
Boland is
that.
one of the best photographers.
Oh, he is. And then
And this is one of my favorite shoots.
me
Yes.
too. I'm with you.
That was Tipsy. This is Q Capital
Oh,
Photography.
sorry. Go on.
Yeah.
What were you saying? I didn't know you had a little tattoo there.
Yeah.
What
Oh
is
yeah.
that?
It's just two flowers. Yeah.
And your little
That's my favorite belly button ring. Yeah. It's
have you ever caught it on anything?
yeah, and luckily I caught it in time. It didn't rip out. I only wear that one for photo shoots because it's a bit heavy and yeah, it gets caught on things.
Oh, it looks great. All right, let's move. Oh God. All right, I should have. All right, continue. Now, this one here, I I I
Yeah.
put in a butt shot, so because people want to see it, so don't
Right.
don't get uh mad at me. All
This
right?
is a good shot. The full
This is
shot, good shot.
so this is for the boys out there that know what you're fighting for.
Right. I love it. That's awesome.
Am I a jerk or what? Huh?
I love it. That's
I
great.
holy Mackinac.
That is one of my favorite pictures right here that you have up.
Me too.
I just like the way my face is, my hair. It just worked out very well.
I'm with you.
Great photography. Great photography. This is the best one. This was going for a magazine submission.
Oh, sugar. Hold on.
Well, that shoot, but not in the Maple Leafs, but it's the same shoot.
Hey, so these are like, do they go? I had to go with a photographer uh, for a shoot,
Mm-hmm.
and cop thought we were like, it was like a building that had, it was falling apart, and I remember cops all of a sudden they thought something weird was going on. He wanted to find a place that was kind of uh, grungy, scary, kind of,
Okay. Yeah.
But is this really outside or is this in a studio?
No, this is actually outside. Um, yeah, this was actually in October. It was a little chilly. And that was actually in Etobicoke, Ontario. So it was at a school. I think it was a college or
It was a school.
I can't remember. I think it was a college. Yeah.
Okay, the kids.
Um,
You have the little boys at the window.
but we did no, it was on a Sunday. But I
Well,
did have, a couple of people walking by and here I was with my butt hanging out and
well, a lot of these pictures, I know there's a lot of Montreal Canadian fans that are just furious, but Toronto is her team, and the other photos I couldn't show because they were owned by the model agency. So she doesn't just do Toronto. It's not just Toronto Maple Leaf. It's she does all sorts, like not naked, but
no.
like she's got I picked the Toronto Maple Leaf ones for a reason because Danny loves Toronto and so do I. And if you're not a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, then you wouldn't understand. So
Sorry.
here, this one is the butt shot. I didn't cover this one up. This one
This is
absolutely is stunning.
this is a classic,
All right,
yeah.
all right, that wasn't the butt shot. That one, look at the abs on there. So
Yeah.
how many crunches do you do like a day?
I
1,000, 2,000? Because that's what I
no.
do.
Oh my goodness. I don't even do crunches. They don't work. No, 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 no.
How
You
do you
you
how do you
have to
get
shock the body. You have to do different movements.
how do you get that happening there? The like
Well, I mean I work out 6 days a week. So and I change it up. So cardio of course makes a difference because you have to burn the fat off. Um, but I probably do my abs 5 days a week, but I change it up and it varies. It varies, but it's never crunches. It's crunches just don't work for me.
they don't where they're
Leg
that's
lifts, bicycles, mountain climbers, Oh, there's so many.
6 days, and
And
you have
I'll use ankle weights just so that I have a little bit of, you know, something
right.
to, yeah,
Yeah, man, you're very
lots of planks. Yeah.
there's a beautiful picture.
Oh, thank you. That was just last year.
Here's the butt shot that I had.
I love this one. This is another Sunshine Girl shot. And would you believe that's actually a top I'm wearing as a skirt?
Sorry, I apologize. Go on. What were you saying?
Right. That's actually a top I'm wearing as a skirt.
That's a
It's a top. Yeah.
no, yeah, that's a top, but
No,
this
no, no. My skirt is actually a tube top, but I made it to wear it as a skirt. So it's actually supposed to be worn as a top.
oh, so this is not a mini skirt?
No, no. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, it's I mean, man, I should have been a photographer. This Do you get a
I
lot of like they're very like are they professional with you or they're like are
very
there have you ever gone to a photographer and you just thought this guy's creeping me out like he's asking me to do stuff?
No, I have been extremely lucky over the years. I've never had a bad moment. I've never worked with anybody that was not professional. So I've been very blessed that way. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? A lot of the times, not all the time, but most of the time I will have somebody with me coming to my photo shoots. And if I find the photographer has any kind of a problem with it, then I know that there's something wrong.
Right. No, that's
Oh,
good that you at least have somebody with you because I've heard of horror stories where, bad things have happened and the girl has done stuff that she regrets later,
absolutely.
and it just you feel like
Well,
you
this is
know,
the thing. I mean, once your pictures are on the internet, they're on forever. You can delete them. They are out there somewhere. Somebody's kept them. It's you have to be careful, you
yeah.
know. That's why when I see women do any kind of nude or porn type thing, I'm always like, oh my God, they're gonna regret it later on, you
Well,
know.
I've here, let's get through this here because this is taxing me going through this. Look, this one here,
This one, yes.
isn't that awesome?
And the only thing
Yeah.
I'm wearing there that's related to Leafs is the hat.
Look at that, eh?
Still a Leafs shot, I'll say.
That's wonderful. That's beautiful too. I love that
Oh,
picture.
thank you. This was, yeah. Oh my God, that was so cool.
I have the exact same outfit when I
Do
I, I
you?
wear that at Wasaga Beach.
That's
This one
awesome.
here I want to talk to you about.
Yes. This one is probably the most, I was nervous about this because I was like, oh my gosh, my legs are a little open there. I'm wearing, hooker boots. Is this the right thing to do?
Hey, so did the guy tell you you're going to be wearing those boots?
I actually wanted to wear them.
Oh,
Um,
wow. So he was like,
oh, I had these boots for years. I thought they were fun and I thought it'd be so fun to shoot with them.
yeah.
So, I said, you know what, should I wear this? And I asked him his opinion. And he's like, yeah, they look hot.
What
I'm
do you
like, all
think he's
right.
going to say? No? He's going to go,
I
no,
know.
no, no, no. You look hooker boots. You need to wear hooker boots. Come on.
That's hilarious.
Are you kidding me?
I just, yeah.
Look,
But
they
I
love the fans love it. That's you could tell that's a sunshine. That's for the
yeah,
paper.
that was for the paper.
That one's really nice too.
That one, yeah.
This
That
one's a
one.
butt shot. Just
That one's,
joking. There's no butt.
I like this shot. Yeah.
Wonderful. See, this one here, I'll tell you right now,
This.
I'm amazed there was no car accidents because you're outside, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's
I'm just sort of, you know what? That was kind of like a candid shot too. I was just kind of hanging out, just waiting for the photographer to be ready, and then boom, there was the shot.
oh, it looked awesome.
This one was
Nice.
great because oh, I love that one. Holy Mackinac. Yeah. He actually gave me that t-shirt.
Oh, he's the best.
Joe gave me that shirt. And so I was like, awesome. I'm going to use this in a photo shoot and I will dedicate it to you. So yeah. That's one of my favorite shots.
There we go.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah.
boys, we're back. Is Yeah, Joe Bowen is
he's,
an
he's
absolute
amazing.
treasure, that man.
Yes, he's incredible.
I what I do is I turn the volume down, I mute the TV, and I just listen to him. And
Yes.
because for years I would have to drive from gigs or whatever I had to do,
Right.
and late at night, you're driving along, and you want to listen to the game. And the beauty with Joe Bowen is he made you feel like you were at the game,
Absolutely.
didn't he?
Yeah.
It was this magical thing he did. He just made you feel like
We
uh
do that sometimes still. I mean, we turn on the volume and we put on the radio, and it's amazing.
yeah, I enjoy I listen to him because there's this passion that is just, you could tell why he's rooting for the Leafs. And that catchphrase, "Holy
Holy
Mackinac,"
mackerel.
that's
Yeah.
beautiful. So
He just
I
brings
just it
so
was.
excitement, right? He brings excitement even when you're home. You get so excited because he's so excited, and I love that.
Did you ever see that pic of no, it's a video where the woman's watching the game with her dog, and
Yes. And
and
the
it,
dog fell off when that was amazing, right?
yeah, because he gets you. He even
Yes,
gets animals going.
he
I
gets the
mean,
animals going.
he's got that.
Absolutely.
He's got that energy, right?
He
So,
does.
Jim Ralph's very funny. So, they're a great team. I hope one day he gets, if he ever gets the opportunity, he does the Leaf games.
Mhm.
But yeah, I showed all those pics of the Leafs because Danny is a huge Leaf fan, and
I
so am
am.
I. Um, yeah, they're doing very well this year. And then
Yeah, so far
every
they're
time
doing
we say
well.
that,
Knock on wood. Hopefully it stays that way.
well, your husband, at every year, last couple of years when they get taken out, I usually have a conniption, which is really bad.
Right?
Twitter's bad for that because I'll go right on Twitter and I'll go, "You mother," you know,
Oh yeah.
and just lose it on people. And your
Yep.
husband will just go, "Yeah, hey man, you got to relax,"
Right.
And there's the one guy, the Steve, he has a popular podcast, and
Single.
he has,
Single.
yeah, that's it. And he's got a book called "This Team Is Ruining My Life." And I'm looking at this guy, and I'm like, dude, you look like you're like 30.
Yeah.
I've been watching this team since 1977. Okay,
Right.
like give me a break about ruining my life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so um yeah, now I'm thinking about the league. So, thing is, hockey fans are very passionate about their team. So I
Absolutely.
don't care where you are, wherever I go, if I'm wearing this, I'll either get a Snicker. I don't wear this one because this is the one's very dear, and it means a lot to me. I have several other ones that I wear, but uh, yeah, if you're out somewhere and they see you with a Leaf, especially if you see like a Boston guy,
Right.
and it's just like, which, whatever. When they were playing, I nearly got killed at the supermarket when they got taken out by Philadelphia. This is
Yep.
years ago. They get taken out a lot in the playoffs, but they got taken out by Philadelphia. And
Hmm.
the whole time, no, my daughter, she was only 6 at the
Yep.
time. It was when Jeremy Roenick, that stud, scored that goal when Tucker. All you heard was Tucker just smashed a guy into the boards, and
Yeah.
Roenick scores that goal. And for that whole series, all I kept doing is just going, "Those losers,
Those.
those losers." And every time I would do that with the Phillies, right?
Yeah.
So every time, so my daughter, when I was going shopping, she's sitting up front, and there
Yeah.
was a Philly guy and he was like twice my size. He had more muscles on him than a gorilla,
Oh
and
geez.
he's coming towards me, and my daughter goes, "Hey, Dad, look, it's that loser." And
No,
yeah, and I just go, "Oh,
that's
she's funny."
hilarious.
Yeah, this guy was gonna. He's just looking at me,
Oop.
and she goes, "Dad, he's a loser. He's a loser."
Oh, that's
And
classic.
I just go by and I go, "Sweetie," and I told my wife, and my wife told me, she goes, "You gotta tone it down when you watch the
Oh
game," because
no.
I'm very vocal when I watch the game. So,
Right.
anyways, back to
I
you.
love it. That's awesome.
So, um, what advice would you give like people that uh I see them putting up uh you know, very, they almost naked. And I understand if that's what you want to do, but
Right.
what you were saying earlier on, where they do put up pics of themselves,
Yeah.
topless or whatever. And I think, okay, if that's what you want to do, sweetie, but when you
Yeah.
get older, you're going to regret that.
That's the thing. Yeah. I see it so often now on Instagram, and you know, it's almost as if this is the way to get famous and make money is take it off.
Well,
And unfortunately, I think when it gets to the point where they start making money, they don't want to stop. And that's what happens, you know.
right.
And some people make it a career. There's some people on there that are making money on Instagram because, they're taking off their clothes. And
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I don't think you can even say anything because they think
Well,
they have good. And like, I get it. I mean, it's money. I get it. But I mean, what happens, you know, 20, 30 years from now, you know, I mean, I don't know about, let's say, you want to find a job, a different job. Does that affect your chances? Do you
I
know what I
think,
mean?
like, if I'm talking about the younger girls that I see do that, where I just go, "Sweetie, you are like," to me, when a girl is 19 or
Yeah.
21 or even 25, to me, I still consider them, uh, y you know what's weird? It doesn't turn me on
No,
because
no.
I think of it as my child. Now,
Oh, right.
if that, if if you want to do that as a career and you're older and and they sit there and go, I want to do this as a career, then I
Yes,
understand that. I've
for sure.
interviewed adult stars, and
Absolutely. I
that's
have
what.
nothing against adult stars or anything like that. I mean, I'm not a
Yeah.
prude,
N- n-
but it's just like there's always pros and cons. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're a mother and a husband, let's say you got a husband, you have children, are you worried about, you know, your children seeing this? There's just so much to consider. And maybe people aren't thinking about that,
well,
in the
the
moment.
yeah, the interviews that I've done where I've the big no is don't bring up the children.
Right.
And out of respect, I don't sit there and say that, but in the back of my head, I'm like, that I wouldn't want, when that child grows up a little more, you don't want them to, uh, uh, you don't want them to worry about stuff like that.
Sure.
And I had to do this one interview where the mother, and she said she was gonna be she's a cam model, and I was like, okay, great. Uh, and she wanted to do the interview with her daughter. And I was like, "What do you
Oh,
mean your daughter?" She goes,
oh,
"Oh,
that's,
my daughter cams too."
oh my
Uh,
goodness. Oh,
and
really?
I said no to it because I just go, it would just be too weird. Like, that's just too weird for
Yeah.
me. You have yourself and then your kid. She's
That's
like,
a
"Oh,
little,
no, no,
yeah.
she's of age," but it's still kind of, to me, I know people go, "You're a dirty dude," and I go, "No, no, no, I'm not. I'm actually a smart, respectable guy." Uh, but I just that was something I couldn't.
No.
It was just too weird. I was like, "No, that's too much Jerry Springer for me."
I have seen on Instagram, 19-year-olds with their mothers
I
doing
don't.
that
Yeah,
whole, you know, I never understood it because I can't even imagine when I think about when I was 19, I can't even think about doing that kind of thing with my mom. It seems very strange to me. So I don't think I will ever understand it. Um, yeah, that's like a whole different, I don't even know. Times have changed. When I was 19, yeah, I was taking photos to model, but there wasn't any really social media. You know what I mean? So it's different now because there's so much social media. There's so much competition. The only way to beat each other is to go naked, it seems. It's a little absurd. And you know what? It's bad for your self-esteem. I mean, there's women out there that think that they have to look a certain way. You know what I mean? And you don't. It, I
well,
mean, I might model, but I'm not saying I'm the most beautiful woman in the world, but I don't want people to think, they have to look this way either. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's
no,
that.
Danny, when I was at the 2 years ago before COVID, going to the beach, and I would see young girls, 15, 16 years old, wearing thongs.
Oh my goodness,
And
no.
I was like,
Oh,
like I, I couldn't, no, like I couldn't,
no.
my daughter, I would go absolutely ballistic.
Yeah,
So there's no way. So I don't understand. And they think this is the way to go. And
that's
it's the same
yeah,
thing with the Halloween outfits.
right.
When I was a kid, the Halloween outfits, the girls did not dress up like hookers when I was a kid,
No,
you know?
no, I no. I think I dressed up as an army guy. I had like the whole like combat boots and stuff like that. Like, and I never thought of, you know what I mean,
Yeah,
dressing like
they got some. If you don't, do you mind saying how old you are?
I'm 41.
Okay, so a lot of people don't. I made sure to, because people are going, why would you say that? For 41 people, she looks absolutely stunning
Thank you.
for 41, because that I mean, I know your hubby. Um, do you get a lot of guys trying to pick you up? Like,
Yes.
they just try and, like, do they ever do that in front of him?
Um, Not directly. Like, he. It's funny because men will look at me, and even with him next to me, and he just I think he wants to punch them, but he doesn't. He just kind of stares them down. But I it happens on social media more. And when he was on Twitter, he would jump in sometimes and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
like it still happens, but I make it known that I'm married." And he says, "You know what? It doesn't matter. People don't care if you're married. They're still gonna come after you." Um, but I still, and he's like, "You're so nice to everybody," and I am. I'm a very social person. If somebody likes my picture, I reply to everybody. I just think, you know, take the time. But he's like, "That's gonna go against you. They're gonna think you're interested." I'm like, "No."
Well,
But
you'd be surprised. I guess he's being very, he's not, like, he knows there's a lot of predators out there that
yeah,
pretend
he's very
to.
protective, and I love him for it. And um, yeah, even though I might get stares in public, it definitely happens more on social media.
Yeah,
For
because I remember I went out with this girl that was just an absolute knockout, and guys were just constantly hitting on her. And so
right.
this is what you do. You never marry anybody. Always make sure you're the best looking one. That's
I'll say that when I'm alone,
serious.
like if I go out on my own, yeah, like there'll be guys that try to talk to me. Um, Obviously because I'm by myself, but I try not to go out on my own much, because it
Mhm.
can be very creepy.
Yeah, I
Uh,
can't. I'm just amazed. Like I notice on any social media, there'll be, uh, especially you're just putting up pics of yourself, and
yeah,
people will, some guys just
they go
whatever.
too far. And sometimes they're teenagers, and that creeps me out.
Well,
Some
it's
think
it's
I'm in my
e-
20s.
Danny. It's easy for me to be 100 miles away from you and
Yeah,
saying some pretty perverted, right? Like if I, and I mean, you could yell at me all you want, but guys are like, hey, what's the worst? She could say no,
it's true. Yeah,
right?
you're right. Yeah,
So
it's easier
that's,
when you're behind a screen, right?
yeah, of
Yeah,
course. So I mean, half the stuff that I say, I mean, when I'm on stage, people are like, how do you say that? And
right.
it's like it's different. I would never say that stuff. Uh, well, I don't really. I've seen it, but I've never said anything where it's been so offensive that it's where a person has said, "How dare you
Yeah,
do that?" But I've seen, um, you know, people I've worked with that have whatever, if they political view or whatever it is that they say, uh, where I'm like, the stuff that they could get away saying, but it's kind of like a safe space being on stage,
for
you
sure.
know? But you would never catch that person saying that um, in a parking lot,
No,
because they would get their head kicked in. So,
absolutely.
uh, but that's the problem you get these days. There's nothing but keyboard warriors. I mean, I don't, do you let comments bother you if somebody says something rude to you? Does it ruin your day?
You know what? When I first started on social media, I mean, I have not been on for long. I started on Instagram in 2015. Um, it would bother me. I didn't get a whole lot, surprisingly. Um, but I used to, oh my gosh, why is this person saying this? Oh my God, what do I do? And why? I don't even know them. Why are they so mean? So it would bother me. And then it it got to a point where it's just like, okay, this is just too funny. This is funny. If somebody like, you know, I say it's worse now. I think the more followers I've gained and popularity, um, not that it's gotten worse. I don't have a lot of people saying bad things. I think it's more on actually TikTok where it's gotten worse.
Oh, I don't
Um,
go on
yeah, you know what? But when I post pictures and stuff, I rarely get any negative comments. It might be, rude, like, hey, I want to get in your pants or something like that. And that's when Jason would jump in. But there's never been a comment where it's like, hey, you look this, you look that. I've never had anything rude, but I know when I started on TikTok, there's been a couple times where, you get the comment where it's like, oh, your hair's so dry looking, and oh my God, you think you look young. And it's like, you get those, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them are kids who are, you know, they're behind a screen and they can say something.
yeah,
But
again, most people would never say those things in front of you, right?
no, absolutely not. No,
And
no.
that's the problem, like
And you know what? I make it a joke. Sometimes I'll reply back something really sarcastic just to, you know, bother them, and they don't say anything back. You have to sort of just go with it and joke around, and that's the way I do it.
just send a nude, and then when they look at it and they're like, this is awesome, you just go, that's not even me.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, yeah.
That's what I do.
But I've been very lucky that I haven't had many bad comments at all over the years.
Well, I think the whole thing of putting yourself out there, we've all heard of the bullying that happens, where people, you hear a horrible story of some poor
Or what?
kid, um, where she was bullied,
Yeah.
from some idiot says some horrible comment about her,
Yeah.
and it could go both ways. A boy could get bullied, but girls are very self-conscious of the way they look, and if she's a little bigger or smaller or whatever, or those comments are like, people think I'm a mean guy until they
Mhm.
meet me.
Right.
And then they're like, wow, he's actually very kind and he's very considerate, and um
Well, it's
but
funny you say that. I've been told um many times that people assumed that I was just this snobby, high on myself kind of person until they actually met me. Um, I met somebody who thought, why is she posting pictures like this? And then realized that I'm actually a really nice person, you know?
well, yeah, I just think, yeah, of course,
There's
but
always that judgment.
I'm saying, like, for younger people, that if not, don't never let anybody bring you down. you
Absolutely.
know
Yeah.
like, screw, like,
You just have
I
to say,
see it and I just think, kid, you gotta you gotta have a thick skin in the world,
yeah,
but sometimes you don't. There are some people out there that just don't have a thick skin, that have can easily be manipulated, and you just wish the kid would have spoken up and said something,
yes, absolutely.
and because they get shamed by, if they feel like, oh, I've ratted out on this person, or, and it's like,
Yeah,
no, no, you speak up. If somebody's bothering you, you speak up,
absolutely.
and that way, that parasite or maggot that's bothering you can be dealt with. So um
This is the
yeah.
trouble with social media. It's the one thing that so many times I've said, I hate social media. I hate it because I see it happening where, there's just so much bullying.
Oh man,
Media makes it so easy to put down other people. And it's unfortunate,
I
because,
I don't get, like, I never watched Save from the Bell, like, for an example. Okay, I was never into that show. I kind of anyways, that Dustin Diamond character,
oh, yes.
he passed away. And
Yeah.
just, like, if you go on Twitter's just a dumpster fire. Just
Yeah.
some of the comments people were saying, I'm like, how do you say that? How do you say such horrible about a person that suffered, you know?
Right.
So
It's difficult.
why, I don't understand how, what's going on in your head to say those things.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't like the actor, but s- how,
Even still, like, how
it's
do
pretty
you,
horrible.
it is, it is. If somebody passed away, I don't understand
Yeah,
how
you
I
know,
I I don't I think Twitter is the one that I feel is going down. Like it's just not what it used to be.
it's a dumpster. You know what Twitter used to be? Remember, like, I love Cobra Kai, right? So the actor William Zepka, I told him when the show came out, I just, I was like, this show makes me feel happy, and he liked my comment,
Okay, right?
and it was just like, I felt like, $1 million. I was just like, this is great, but
Sure.
99% of the time, a celebrity, I see, like, they're not gonna message you, or I've had a
Yeah.
couple, but it's like for different reasons, like for stalking them and whatever. Anyways, but as, I'll see, like, a celebrity with 1 million followers, just say, right?
Right?
And people will, either they'll say horrible things, or they'll,
Yeah.
they want, like, a Twitter war. It's
Yes.
very odd. It's like
I've seen that.
like, this celebrity hates this celebrity, and
Why
then,
is that?
but 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 Danny, here's the thing: you're not going to make a difference.
No.
So you chiming in there saying something that you're going to regret,
Right.
right? You're going to say something absolutely like I've, half the time I've got to take a, where I'm like, there are days that I just don't go on Twitter
Really, eh?
because it's just, it can be like a downer.
It can. You know what? And I admit I'm addicted to it. There's times where I'm like, I don't want to go on. I don't. It's time consuming. It's hard to keep up. I want to be that person that talks to everybody, and but then I see, you know, people are just downers, a lot of politics, and but then I'm like, I can't help it. I want to go on. I want to check. I have all these notifications, and I
Yeah.
feel like I'm missing out if I don't go on.
I'll
It's
go at it with like, I during a Leaf game, I'll say I'm not going to go on.
and I'm addicted during the game. I'm there
Yeah. And
tweeting
then
all the
I'm
time.
on there. I'm doing this. I'm going, no, that was, and then I'll just put something like, boy, the refs suck. And then I'll get like 15 likes from that, and then I'll go, okay, that's great, that's super. And then some idiot from Long Island will go, me and him will go at it back and forth, and then it's just my night. My wife just goes, what you just, I mean, it's a dumpster fire with you. Why
Yeah,
do you and I'm arguing with some guy in Long Island.
right. That you don't even
I
know.
don't
That's
even know the guy or the girl or whatever, and it's just
yeah,
like you
yeah,
just sit there and you go, you're hurting my team, and
right.
it's just like they don't care. They're loving getting you going, and then when they lose, I'll look for him and I'll just, how was the game tonight, loser? you know
Yeah, yeah,
Calgary did a number on you, didn't they? And then he'll
yeah,
say
exactly.
something that make fun of my height or something or whatever. So uh yeah, it's weird, but the problem is we're in the business of, we have to be constantly promoting yourself, because
Yeah.
if you're not, then
Well, that's the
how
only
it
thing that's
works.
kept me on Twitter, to be honest, is because I'm always marketing myself. It's promoting yourself. You don't know who you're gonna meet. I mean, things happen on social media. Social media is a big part of how my career extended the way it has. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I can't leave. I can't. You know.
But that must be, how did you feel the first time being in in a magazine, not like an adult magazine or anything? Like I'm talking
Um,
like she's been in like Cottage Life, McLean's, stuff like that, like in those types of magazines that are not, you know what I mean? So
um,
what was the first feeling that you had where you just go, wow, this is freaky?
oh my gosh, it was the most amazing feeling just to see myself in there. It's like, wow, I I did it. Wow. This is something I've always wanted my whole life, is to be in a magazine. Since I was a little girl, I wanted to
Right.
be that person. And I never thought it was gonna happen. It was an incredible feeling. It really was. Um, I mean, I wish it was a magazine that was sold here in Canada, but unfortunately it's just in the States. Which I don't mind because the States is huge. Um, but my goal, I hope, is to be in a magazine that's here in Canada. But it was an incredible feeling. It really was, and I still get that way every time I'm in one, even if it's like seventh time. I'm like, ah, it's a fantastic feeling. I look back and wow, that's me. That's what I did. That's awesome. You know, um, it's amazing. Yeah,
That is awesome. So
it's a great
before
feeling.
before we go, what advice would you give any young person that would want to get into the modeling industry? I mean, some of them, um, like you just said, it's a dream, right? But
Right, right.
you know, most don't make it. But I don't know what to tell them. I just tell them to be careful, and if they're asking for money,
Well,
don't.
that's it. That's the first thing I was gonna say is if you're asked for money, no, like no, just you have to be. I mean, you need a portfolio, yes, and you need certain pictures, but you can get that by finding a photographer that's willing to work with you and just do a trade where you take the photos and he's building his portfolio and then you're building your portfolio, and that's all it is. Like there's a lot of photographers that are willing to shoot, for free to build your portfolio. You don't need to pay so much money. You shouldn't have to pay anything. You know what I mean? Um, my advice would be don't pay anything. Um, don't go nude. Do not, you know, I mean, it's your choice, but it's not something I would start off with. I mean, once it's out there, and there's no going back. There isn't. Those photos are out there forever. So I would just say, don't pay the money. Don't go nude. Have fun with it. It's very hard to take it serious because it's so competitive, and it's more competitive now with social media. So I always thought of it as have fun with it. Think of it as a hobby. If it progresses into something else, that's awesome. Go for it. Work hard. But to think of it as a career is very difficult. So just
Right.
have fun, you know, because you're going to be let down if you go in with it thinking, yeah, I'm going to do this full time. I'm going to make thousands and thousands of dollars. Then you're going to be let down. But doesn't mean you have to stop the dream. It means it could be part of your life and do something else with the modeling. You know what I mean? Because that's how it is in the day. You have a job, modeling. If it becomes something full time, awesome.
I think
But
too many people fall into that where they hear, you know, one of my favorite stories is how Clint Eastwood was found, and he went into an elevator, and a director saw him and said, I want you in a movie of mine,
right,
and he wasn't even an actor. He was just like, okay.
that's amazing.
So, but the problem is everybody thinks that's going to happen to them,
That's gonna happen. It's
and that's
so
just
rare.
that's
It's
incredibly
really
rare.
rare. But
So
I mean, sure, it happens. I mean, look at how some of these people are famous. Justin Bieber was on YouTube, and that's
he
how
got
it
he
just
got
was.
famous from YouTube.
I think so. Apparently, that's what I heard. He was posting himself singing on YouTube
The beat.
and got recognized. He built a fan base, and Pamela Anderson. She got recognized when she was at a baseball game and was shown on the screen, and it's like, oh, wow, look at her. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
honestly, it can happen for sure, but I mean, I don't know how common that is. I think it's very rare.
Well, I tell anybody, go after your dreams, but
Absolutely.
you know, do
Go with
not.
it with your eyes wide open.
Yeah, but do
I
not.
say.
Don't get. The worst thing in the world is uh, regret, right?
Yes.
So if you don't try, and it doesn't matter, you don't listen to other people, just listen to yourself. And
Try. You know what? If you fail, that's okay. There's nothing wrong. You tried. It
oh
doesn't
God, do
mean
you know Harrison Ford, what he was doing in his during his auditions? He
no.
wasn't getting any work, right? And he would go into auditions staring at the floor because he already thought, I'm not going to get the part. And
Oh,
Harrison Ford, uh, you know, huge movie star.
yes,
But hey, man, it happens to everybody. And if it doesn't happen, at least you sit there and go, I tried. Hey,
absolutely.
and then you could be better like me and watch people on movies and TV and make fun of them. Um,
Yeah. Oh,
so
there's
there,
so
there,
many models that are famous and so successful that have been turned down so many times, but they never gave up. Tyra Banks, I think, was one of them. She got turned down, and now she's very successful.
yeah.
You don't give up. It's just it's hard to really make it as, you know, a career being financially stable. Like, so many people now are trying so hard to do that. It's
Yeah.
just so competitive. So
Well, I want to thank you for our time.
thank you.
It was very
Thank you.
nice talking to you. You're always a joy, and your
Thank
husband always
you.
calms me down every.
I had a lot of fun. This was great. I hope that I've helped some people out there. I don't know if I have, if I've
Probably
given great
not.
advice, if not, but I mean, this is what I did. This is how things happened for me.
Hey, man, it means a lot, and I'll put your links and everything so people could follow
Awesome.
Danny, and you could see her. Um uh, so Dannie Debe. That's a that's a cool French name. You said it wasn't. You're not French, but
I'm
that's
not French,
weird.
but funny enough, yeah, that's fine.
That's another conversation. But
That's
I want to
another,
thank you
yeah.
for your time, and
Thank you.
folks, thanks so much. Um, anyways, it's been a blast. You've been watching the Amazing Vito, and Danny. I'll put up links, and you could see her on social media, and you could see so many of her other pictures that I couldn't show. But check her out. She's a very sweet, kind person, and
Thank
that to
you.
me is very important. I don't care if who you are, as long as you're a nice person. Here's a quick little. Uh, I've interviewed two people, both being female, that they were just so high on themselves
Oh
that
no.
I didn't, I just did. I ordered a pizza in the middle of the interview,
Oh
literally, and because I already said I'm going to delete this. I'm not. I have
no.
no interest in talking to somebody that just is not genuine. Is just the interview was just so crap. Like it was just all they
Oh
talked
no.
about. All they just kept saying is, "I'd like to thank my manager." It was just like I'm going. This is not an award show. You know,
Oh.
honestly, it was the weirdest thing in the world. It was like, I would like to thank my manager, and then like they would talk about some other movie, and then they would go, and the person that got me that is this person, and then they did this,
Oh,
and then they lied to me about they never saw a movie, which I know they saw. So I kept bringing that up just to rub it in.
oh, you're kidding.
Oh
You're
yeah,
awesome.
oh yeah. I just kept bringing it up because they just wanted to just talk about themselves like they were, And I'm going, I'll tell you later who it was, but you'll
Oh,
go.
oh,
It was like I'm like, sweetie, you're not even that famous, and you're acting like
that's horrible.
So, anyways,
Yeah.
who cares? All right, go Leafs, go! Thank you so
Go, Lisa.
much, and I'll talk to you later. Okay, have a good
Sounds
night.
good.
You
Thank you
good?
so much.
Hey, it's been a blast, folks. Be good to yourselves. All right.